Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my world tarot. Hope everybody woke up happy and healthy and in a great mood. I'm sending you all abundance of blessings today. So today I am doing all signs. Okay, I'm going to go through them all and just do a quick reading on all, and then I'm going to pull. At the end of each sign, I will pull a Life Purpose Oracle card to get advice from Spirit, and then I will pull a Sacred Forest Oracle, okay? Also, so let's go ahead and get started. And if you like what you see, please hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification icon, because I'm going to start doing this every Monday. So that way you're aware when my videos do post, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I have pre-shuffled, but I'll shuffle one more time. And for all of you who are recurring subscribers, you know me, I like to do my little smudge sticks and keep those going. So I've already cleansed the cards, me and the space that we are in. Okay, there we go. All right, let me shuffle these one more time, and there will be reversed. I am using my reversed cards, okay, for in case some come out reversed. All right, let's go ahead and get started with Aries. We're going to start with Aries today. All right, wow. And this is just for what's coming or what's going on for this next week, okay? Until next Monday. So, Aries. It looks like some Aries are having some problems this week. I got the Tower in reverse. I've got the Knight of Cups in reverse. And I also got the Wheel of Fortune upright. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through and see what's going on with Aries. So the Tower in reverse is avoidance of disasters and fear and change. Okay, so you've definitely avoided something that was going to be very traumatic for you, some kind of traumatic event. Okay, by making a decision. Or by making a decision this week, you are definitely avoiding disaster. So just be very wary of what's coming up this week, whether it be an argument, while you're driving, I mean, just anything, okay? Life throws curveballs. Like, just make sure that you're making the right decisions, and that, and that you're not doing things irresponsibly, okay? Also, the Knight of Cups being in reverse, there is some unrealistic jealousy and moodiness going on, okay? So if you are in a relationship, it just kind of, that's what it could be. Maybe there's going to be a problem arising if you have a partner or an ex or somebody, that you're romantically seeing, or it could even be a sibling, maybe something going on with you and your family. By you making an adult decision or making a change of something, by maybe not saying something when someone says something to you, or not, or if someone's being too jealous with you, or you with them, you making that conscious decision of not to fire back something back at them, could actually save the relationship with that tower being in reverse. So just keep an eye out for that this week. Also, with the Wheel of Fortune upright, Aries, you have some good luck, some great destiny, and a turning point in your life, and I think it all comes down to that decision making this week. Sorry about that, guys. There, sorry about that. That all comes down to that decision making this week, okay? So just keep mindful of that. So let's go ahead and draw a card from my Life Purpose Oracle cards. It says children. Your life purpose involves helping, teaching, and healing children. So this could be towards this reading could be towards maybe a teacher or somebody who works with children, or if there's children around you, just remember your actions, they perceive that, okay? All right, let's get a card from my Sacred Forest. It says truth. Be true to yourself, be true to those around you, Okay, because especially with that children card coming up, they see everything and they feel everything. So just be very wary of that. All right? All right, Aries. Not a bad reading at all. Wish you luck this week, and we'll see you next Monday. All right. So the next one we are going to do is Taurus. All right, let me get these shuffled a little bit for Tauruses. Spirit, our beings, ancestors. Show me the best possible outcome for week coming for Taurus. All right. Wow. All right, Taurus. So Taurus, I have got the Three of Pentacles in reversed. I've got the Strength card upright, and then I've got the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Tauruses, this week you might be feeling like there's a lack of teamwork, whether it be at work, a relationship of some sort, okay, whether that's siblings, a significant other, something you're feeling like there's going to be some lack of teamwork coming up, okay, and it could be you not giving enough also, okay, but you, with the Strength card upright, it's showing that you, through this week, you get the strength, the courage, the patience, and the control, and the compassion to get through it, okay. Definitely something that you're feeling off about with energies around you, but you've got the strength to get through it this week. With the Two of Cups in reverse, there's an imbalance in a relationship, lack of harmony, okay, and that coincides with that Three of Pentacles in reverse, okay, because they were both in reverse, okay, but you do get the strength to get through it this week, like, it's a little bump in the road, but it passes. So let's go ahead and get a card from my Life Purpose Oracle cards. Practice, okay, polish your skills by practicing regularly. So whatever it is that you're into, if you're an artist or, if you're spiritual, if you're into meditation, just, do that this week, okay? Let's get a card from my Sacred Forest Oracle. Leadership, okay? With that strength, Taurus, you are a leader, okay? So, just, if there's an imbalance going on, just show that you can get through that and work through it and be a leader, be in control of that, okay? And show, how you can get through it gracefully, without hurting or harming somebody else. When I say harming, I don't mean physically, I mean mentally and spiritually, okay? All right, Taurus, not a bad reading for this next week coming up. Wish you well. Okay, so let's do Gemini next. The twins here. Let me get these cards shuffled. Spirit, heart, being, ancestors, show me the best possible outcome for this week for Gemini. All right, let's pull 3 cards. All right, so the very first card, Gemini, that I pulled up was the 8 of Cups. Next, I have the Devil in reverse. And then after that, I've got the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay? So, Gemini, it looks like this week there's some escapism going on, some disappointment, some withdrawal. Now, whether that be from you or from some energies around you, there's definitely some withdrawal going on, okay? With the Devil in reverse, it's some kind of detachment, breaking free, power being reclaimed. So, with the disappointment and some kind of withdrawal with that first 8 of Cups, and then I see this Devil in reverse, looks like somebody's trying to, this week, someone's making a decision about leaving a situation. Okay, and then I get the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, which is feeling stuck. Okay, all 3 cards coincide with each other. Okay, So definitely some Geminis going through something this week, some hard decisions to make, okay? And it's showing that, you're escaping or withdrawing, but because you're feeling stuck in something. That could be a job, it could be a relationship, it could be, all sorts of stuff. But you are detaching with that devil in reverse, or the energies around you are detaching. I'm assuming it is Gemini. I'm feeling like it is a Gemini. There's Geminis out there that are going through something. They're in a relationship, or maybe a job that they're not happy with, and you detach yourself from it, okay? You're like, I don't care if I'm broke for the next 2-3 weeks. I've got to get out of this toxic situation. And you detach yourself, yeah, and you reclaim that power, okay? The devil in reverse is it's a very strong reclaiming power card. And it's all to do with this disappointment and feeling stuck. Okay, so it looks like you are on the right path of leaving a toxic relationship, or a toxic scenario. Let me go ahead and draw my from my Life Purpose Oracle card, and it says infinite abundance. You're fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. Oh my gosh, that makes total sense. So if you do detach from this toxic relationship that you're in, whether it be a person, people, places, or things, okay, you're making the right decision. You're going to be abundant for doing it, okay? Spirit, that's a good message from Spirit telling you, get away from toxic and you get abundant, okay? Let me pull one from my sacred forest. It says growth, okay? It is the toadstools. Okay, so with that abundance and then growth, and it's saying, the cards are showing that, you're detaching yourself. Oh my gosh, wonderful things are coming to you. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful, beautiful reading. Yeah, just do what you got to do for you, okay, and get you on that right path. All right, Gemini, thanks for coming, and we'll see you next week. Okay, so let's do Cancer next. Cancer is the little crabby crab. Not that you're crabby crab, but yeah. I like Cancers. They're pretty soft-spoken. Alright, Spirit, Heart, Beings, Ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome this week for Cancer. Wow. Alright, Cancer, I've got the Six of Swords in reverse. I've got the Two of Swords upright. And I've got the King of Swords upright. All swords. There's some battles or achievements coming through. Okay. So with the Six of Swords in reverse, it's showing that you feel like you can't move on this week. Like you're carrying some baggage this week. Okay. But then the Two of Swords pops up right after that, and that's an indecision, a choice, blocked emotions. It's kind of like a stalemate. These two coincide. Oh my gosh. So you're definitely going through something. You feel like, you can't move on. It's because you've got some indecisions going on this week. Okay? But then you get the King of Swords. And the King of Swords, and that's towards the end of the week. King of Swords is all about clear thinking, intellectual power, authority, the truth. So you see the truth in something, and it helps you move on, and you start doing some clearer thinking. Okay, you don't have those indecisions towards the end of the week. Okay, so it's definitely something going on with my Cancers. But by the end of the week, you reclaim, okay? Yeah, absolutely. So let's go ahead and grab a Life Purpose Oracle card. And it is Oracle card. You are able to discern answers and guidance for yourself and others. Oh my gosh, so you do see the truth in things. And that is that King of Swords, okay? You see the truth. By the end of the week, you're seeing things and you're got a lot better, clearer thinking. Okay, let's go ahead and do my Sacred Forest. Sacred Forest is Moonlight Enchantment. Okay, and it's magic. So there's definitely some magic that happens, and I think magic when Spirit's saying that with this advice, he means that you see the truth. That's magic in itself. Okay, when people can actually discern the truth from what isn't. I mean, that's magic in itself, right? You finally see the truth in things, see the truth in you, see the truth in what's going on. You finally like, I've had enough, or you know what, I need to make a decision, and you know, you see the truth in it. So, wish you luck this week. I'm sending you abundance of blessings, and we will see you next week, Cancer. All right. So, the next one I am going to do is Leo. All right, let me get these cards. Spirit, our beings, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for this week for Leo. Yeah, I am just so excited about doing my readings again. All right, let me shuffle them one more time. Okay, let's do Leo. All right. Leos. Oh, wow. Okay. So, Leo, the first card I pulled up was the Justice card in reverse. Okay. Second card I pulled up is the Seven of Pentacles, upright. Third card, Leo, I pulled up was the Tower in reverse. Okay? So, with the Justice in reverse, it's you this week maybe feel like there's some unfairness, lack of accountability, some dishonesty. You know, whether that's you or what's going on around you. Okay? And then I get the Seven of Pentacles, which is you get a vision, you persevere, you profit, reward, investment. So you definitely see some dishonesty, lack of accountability, but you persevere through it, okay? And then you start seeing rewards for that. And then with the Tower in reverse, you avoid disaster, okay? Little bit of fear of change going on. So there's definitely some unfairness here at the beginning of the week going on. But you persevere through it because you see with this Seven of Pentacles, you see your choices, okay? You see, you know, what could be. And with that Tower in reverse towards the end of the week, yeah, you avoid disaster by making a change. Although you might have a little fear of that change, but there's definitely going to be some sort of change coming towards the end of the week, okay? But let's go ahead and get a Life Purpose Oracle card. Protected. Spirit is saying you are safe and supported while you change your career. Okay, so it might be something to do with work, okay? Yeah, Leo, there's definitely going to be some unfairness, lack of accountability at work, but you see some options, and you avoid disaster. Even though you have that fear of change, you avoid disaster by maybe making a change, okay? And Spirit is just saying that you are totally supported on your path, okay, as you make that change. Let me pull one from my Sacred Forest. And it is Aspen Spirit, courage. Have the courage to make that change. Okay, you are fully supported by Spirit. Wow. Beautiful. All right, and I wish you well this week, okay? I'm sending out abundance of blessings. And we'll see you next week. All right, so the next one we're doing is Virgo. Sorry, guys, I put a check mark next to the signs I've done so that I know that I've got them all in. Okay, so Virgo. Spirit, our beings, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for this week for Virgo. All right, Virgo. Wow. Huh. Okay, so Virgo, I have got the Justice card in reverse. I've got the Tower in reverse. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of signs that are avoiding disaster this week. And then I've got the Seven of Pentacles upright. Okay? So Virgo, like in the last reading with Leo, you also are feeling some unfairness, lack of accountability, maybe some dishonesty at the beginning of the week, okay, in some situation. But you avoid disaster, okay? You avoid it maybe by fear of change, or you avoid it for just facing it, okay? You got almost the same reading as Leo, because you also got that Seven of Pentacles. Same thing, you persevere through it, you get rewarded for some sort of investment that you decided you are going to take. Now, the investment could be in a relationship, it could be at work. You decided, okay, I'm going to just invest more of my time. Or made a decision or thought, in the beginning of the week, okay, you know what, I might, step out of this relationship, whatever relationship it is, and by not doing so, you have avoided disaster. Okay, let's go ahead and get a card from a spirit. Animals. So some of you might have animals around you, okay? All right, so Virgo, you understand animals and communicate with them. Trust your inner guidance as the animals are part of your life's work. So, if you're an animal lover, Virgo, surround yourself. Go to the zoo, or surround yourself if you live on a farm. So just surround yourself with animals. Go out, in nature. Listen to the birds, things like that. Let's go ahead and do a sacred heart, or sacred force. Unicorn, purity. Okay? So be pure to yourself. Like, purity is be truthful, be honest, stay pure, don't cause conflict, don't cause toxic, you know what I mean? Like, just be true to you and those around you, okay? Animals are pure, so it doesn't surprise me that those two came up together. Anyway, I wish you well. Just know that towards the end of the week, whatever investment it is that you are wanting to invest in is going to work out for you. Okay. And I will see you next week. I'm sending you abundance of blessings. Okay? All right. So, let's do Libra. Let me mark up Virgo here. Okay, Libra. Spirit, higher beings, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for Libra. Sorry, I'm going to do them one more time here. There we go. All right, for Libra. All right, Libra. We got the Six of Wands in reverse. I've got the Queen of Cups in reverse. And I've got the Queen of Swords in reverse. All right, Libra. Towards, the beginning of this week, lack of confidence, you fall from grace. So, and then the Queen of Cups, in the middle of the week, you got some emotional insecurity, some codependency going on. And then towards the end of the week, with that Queen of Swords, you're overly emotional. There could be some malice, some cold-heartedness. So, Libras, you fall from grace towards the beginning of the week, okay? Which means that there are some Libras out there that maybe are doing toxic. Okay, now that doesn't necessarily mean chemicals or whatever, you know what I mean? But it could mean to yourself. You're doing something that maybe towards the beginning of the week, or some energies around you that are very toxic. Okay, we all fall from grace once in a while. We all have a past. We all, you know what I mean. So don't beat yourself up over it. Okay, because we are human. We are born to make mistakes. Okay, so don't burden yourself too much with it. And then with that Queen of Cups in reverse, there's definitely some codependency going on, some emotional insecurity. So that could mean that you're in a relationship that you're just so codependent on, you're depending on others for other things, or it could also mean that, you're just going out having a good time, if you know what I mean, towards the middle of the week with that codependency, okay? And then with the Queen of Swords, towards the end of the week, you get very cold-hearted, or some energies around you do. They're very malice. They are overly emotional, okay? So definitely something going on this week with you, okay? And it starts at the beginning and it ends that way too. So just kind of be mindful of that. Let's go ahead and get some advice from my Life Purpose Oracle cards. Books. You connect to your life purpose through your involvement with books. So some of you might work around books. Some of you might read a lot of books or do the online audio stuff, okay? So when you start feeling a little bit like you are getting a little bit codependent or something, read a book, do what you do with books, okay? Or maybe Spirit is saying, go find a book. If there's a book you've been wanting that you're interested in, go get it. Let's go ahead and take that Sacred Forest card. Earth Spirit Stability. Okay, so it's saying you need some stability, okay? So Libras, instead of being codependent or, having lack of confidence or you start getting overly emotional like you are going to towards the end of the week, just think of ways to stabilize yourself, okay? Or your home or your surroundings, your energies, okay? All right. And I will see you next week, and I'm sending an abundance of blessings to you. Okay. All right. So the next one we're going to do is Scorpio. Scorpios. Let me just shuffle these. Spirit, higher beings, and ancestors, show me the best possible outcome for Scorpios this week. Come on. There we go. Best possible outcome for Scorpios. All right, Scorpios. Let's see what's going on with you this week. Well, we got the Sun upright. I've got the Nine of Cups in reverse. And then I've got the Star in reverse. So, Sun upright, beginning of the week. Beginning of the week, you're in a fun, warm, positive. You're very successful. You feel like you're very successful. Starting the beginning of the week. Okay, so we've got the Sun upright, Nine of Cups in reverse, and the Star in reverse. Okay. Towards the middle of the week, there's some dissatisfaction, some greed going on. Okay. So something is switched. It could be at work. It could be, maybe things aren't going good at work, especially if you work in a tipped environment. I'm seeing that, you're fighting over tables, things like that, okay? Towards the end of the week, there's some lack of faith, some discouragement. So maybe the week starts out good, and it doesn't have to be just at work. It can be in a relationship, just something, it could just be your mood. You start off really good, and then something clicks from the beginning to the middle where you're dissatisfied with something, and then it just bleeds over towards the end of the week where there's just some lack of faith going on, okay? So just be mindful of that and just keep your sunny disposition. And remember that we get through things. Life throws us curveballs, and we get through it, that just because this week might end on a bad note doesn't mean that next week won't start on a good one, okay? So let me go ahead and draw a Life Purpose Oracle card, and it's Author, okay? Author says you have a book inside you that wishes to be expressed and make the time to write it. So Write stuff down. If you have a journal, start. If you don't, start one. Okay, you just need to, maybe that'll help you get through this week. Okay, let me draw one from a sacred forest, Phoenix, transmutation. Okay, so what's that saying is, there's going to be, make some changes. If you're not happy with the way things are flowing this week, make some changes to make yourself happy. Start that journal. That might put you on a happier path to get some of those frustrations out. People say if you write stuff down, it helps. And I'm down, it really does. So I wish you well and sending you abundance of blessings this week, okay? And hopefully we'll see you next week. Okay, so that was Scorpio. So let's do Sagittarius. Spirit, higher beings, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for Sagittarius. Do it another time here, one more time. All right. All right. All right. Sagittarius, I got the Six of Wands upright, Nine of Swords upright, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so it looks like beginning of the week, you victor over something. You got a lot of self-confidence, okay? Yay, keep that up. But then towards the middle of the week, you get some anxiety about something, okay? So something's happening from the beginning to the middle. So there's some kind of change where something in the back of your mind or something happens where you're a little anxious about it, okay? In fact, you might, it might be something that puts you in a little bit of a depression, okay? Or something that's keeping you up at night. Okay, yeah, because towards the end of the week with that nine of Pentacles in reverse, there's some greed, dissatisfaction, materialism going on. So maybe it could be work related or something like that, where you feel like you're doing very well, things are good, and then all of a sudden something happens maybe at work where you're feeling like someone's being greedy. Okay, and it's giving you anxiety. Okay, it gave you anxiety. Yeah. Like I said in the last reading with Scorpio, Sagittarius, just remember that just because a week ends a little bit off doesn't mean the next week's not gonna start good. Okay, just to make some mindful decisions and change it a little bit. Like it could just be an action that you decide. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. Or no, I better not do this because I don't want to add on to or feed the problem. Okay, let me go ahead and draw a Life Purpose Oracle card. Strength. Everything you've experienced in your life has made you strong and courageous. So keep your strength. You can get through it. Okay. And let's pull a Sacred Forest Oracle card. Secret Spring, success. Okay. So there's definitely going to be some success, okay? You're going to have some successes this week. So whatever it is that's giving you anxiety, it's going to pass, okay, towards the end of the week. And you're going to get through it, okay? And that in itself is successful, okay? But things will work out. All right. So Sagittarius, hopefully I'll see you next week, and I'm sending you abundance of blessings, okay? Okay, so the next one I am going to do is Capricorn. All right. Let me shuffle these a couple times. Spirit, higher beings, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for our Capricorns. Spirit, higher being, ancestors, show us the cards for the best possible outcome for Capricorns for this next week. All right. All right. Okay, the Hierophant in reverse. Second card I'm drawing is the Two of Swords in reverse. Third card I'm drawing is the Judgment card upright. Okay, so beginning of the week, someone is feeling very restricted, challenging with their status quo, which could mean how people perceive you. Okay, you're feeling very restricted on that. Like you want people to see you as as good, a good person, and you've struggled a lot, or you've worked really hard. You want people to notice that. You want that status quo from people. Okay, so you're feeling like you're not getting it towards the beginning of the week. Okay, that somebody or some energies around you aren't seeing you. Aren't recognizing how hard you're working, okay? And it could be with a job, it could be within yourself, within a relationship, okay? Something like that. Yeah, because with the Two of Swords coming out right after that in the middle of the week, you've got a little confusion going on. You're kind of indecisive about something, and you're getting some information overload, like whether it be from other people or you're just kind of in your own head, okay? So you're definitely wanting to make a decision that you're indecisive about, and I have a feeling it's something to do with this, how people or energies are perceiving you, okay, or somebody. But towards the end of the week, you, with the Judgment upright, you make a judgment call, okay? You get a judgment call. You are, something that you've seen within yourself, because that's all about inner calling and an absolution. So Capricorn, this is what I'm kind of feeling. Feeling like there's some Capricorns out there that are in a relationship and you've tried really super hard to work on that relationship and to keep it strong, but someone is not seeing that. Whoever you're with or the energy around you, whether it be your family, your significant other, somebody is not saying, hey, thanks for trying so hard. Like, I get that you're trying. Someone is not recognizing that. And it's giving you some indies, like, do I really want to be in this relationship? I mean, if they can't see how hard I'm trying and they just keep throwing this negative, toxic stuff at me, why am I here, right? But towards the end of the week, you make a decision. And it's something that you've been feeling, something that yourself is telling you. Okay, it's your intuition, okay, and you make an absolute decision, okay, towards the end of the week. So think hard, and you always remember, Capricorns, what's best for you, okay, because once you take care of you, everything else flows. Okay, you've got to look out for you first, because how can you help someone else if you can't help yourself, or how can you take care of someone else if you can't take care of yourself first? So that could be emotionally, physically, financially, okay? It's got to be you first before you can help someone else with those same things, okay? So always remember you first. Let's go ahead and pull a Life Purpose Oracle card. Environmentalist. You're an earth angel. You're an earth angel who was born to protect, nurture, and teach about nature and the animals. Okay. So, like I said, Capricorns are very, they're the one sign that people run to when they need help, okay? But Capricorns always forget to take care of themselves. Take care of yourself. You are an earth angel, okay? So, just surround yourself with nature, okay? I think that's what Spirit is trying to say. Just surround yourself with nature. That'll help you make some hard decisions, okay? Let me go ahead and pull for my Sacred Force. Blue Bell Fairy. Gratitude. Okay? Be grateful for everything. And remember, don't leave a relationship, whether it be, toxic or not, bad. Just make sure you wish them well, and or whatever situation it is, hope for the best. Be very grateful for everything, and and then life will reward you. Spirit will reward you for that. All right, Capricorns, I'm sending you abundance of blessings, and hope to see you here next week. All right, so the next one we are going to do is. And did you know that this next sign is the rarest in the zodiac? only because this month is the shortest month in the zodiac. Okay, Aquarius, and I rarely do Aquarius readings, because they are so rare, and I want to make sure that I get them right, But let's go ahead and I have faith in Spirit to show me the cards that need to be seen. And Aquarius is, here we go. I'm kind of excited about this. Spirit, higher beings, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for this week for the beautiful sign of Aquarius, our most rarest sign. Spirit, higher being, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for this week for beautiful Aquariuses. All right. Okay. Aquarius, all three cards are upright. First time out of all the signs that I've done. See how rare Aquariuses are? Thank you, Spirit. So the first card I got was the Two of Cups upright. Second card I got was the Knight of Swords upright. The third card I got is the Strength upright. So, beginning of the week, there's definitely some sort of a partnership and an attraction, relationships, unified love. So, there might be a Cancer around you that you are in a relationship with. If not, you might be meeting somebody beginning of the week. It's definitely some sort of romantic partnership coming, okay? If it's not a romantic partnership for some of you, because there's, some Aquariuses out there that might not be in a relationship, it could be a job opportunity, okay? Or someone giving you an option. Take it, because it's very good. In the middle of the week, Aquarius, this is your energy. The Knight of Swords is Aquarius, okay? It's Aquarius Capricorn. So, a Knight of Swords towards the middle of the week is opinionated, hasty actions, communication. So, beginning of the week, it looks like all relationships are fab. Middle of the week, there's something going on a little bit with the relationship you might be in, whether it be work, romantic, siblings, family, whatever, because of lack of communication, okay? But towards the end of the week, you get your strength, courage, patience, control, and compassion back. You are strong. You get through it. You just need to communicate, okay? Yeah, there's definitely some Capricorn, Aquarius, Cancer energies, okay? If that makes any sense to you, okay? So, let's go ahead and pull a Life Purpose Oracle card. Creative expression. Your soul longs to express itself creatively. That's a hard one to do. My lipstick is bugging. Anyways, sorry about that. My lipstick is bugging me. I see it in my mirror, in my camera. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. So, express yourself with, whether you're a painter, a writer, a builder, build things. Okay, Spirit is saying get into your creative side this week. Sorry, Aquarius. Okay. Let's pull a Sacred Forest Oracle. Pure spirit, purification. Okay? It means be true to yourself, be pure to yourself, surround yourself with loving, pure-hearted people, and you yourself be the same way, So that's what the advice that Spirit gave. Okay, Aquariuses, I hope that made sense to you, and I hope to see you next week. I'm sending you abundance of blessings, okay? Let's do Pisces. Pisces, the sponges of all the zodiacs. They take in a lot of energy. Spirit, higher being, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for Pisces. Spirit, higher being, ancestors, show me the cards for the best possible outcome for my Pisces. All right. Let's see. All right, Pisces. First one I drew was the Ace of Cups in reverse. Then I drew the Queen of Wands in reverse. And then I drew the Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay? So Pisces are having a little bit of some emotional stuff going on this week. Beginning of the week, you've got some blocked or repressed emotions going on. That means that you're stopping something, like you don't want to think about it, and they're repressed, okay? Towards the middle of the week, though, Pisces, you get a little bit demanding and aggressive about something, okay? You can also be shy about something. So if you meet new people, you're a little bit shy about it, okay? And then towards the end of the week, you're breaking free from something, some mental challenges. So the end of the week ends great, okay? But watch for those at the beginning of the week, those blocked emotions, repressed emotions. Just, get a journal, write them down, or if you don't want to talk to somebody about it, don't keep stuff inside because it does fester and build, especially being a sponge, because Pisces are sponges, okay? They take in everything. And then I see some Aries around you and some Aquariuses around you, maybe. Okay? But towards the end of the week, you break free, okay, from this this demanding or aggressive behavior. It doesn't have to be you. It could be people around you. Okay, the energy's around you because you are a sponge, so you could be soaking that in. Emotions are a domino effect. If you notice, if you're around people and one person's cranky, all of a sudden everybody else gets cranky. Okay, so just be wary of that. But you break free from all that towards the end of the week, and you're able to bounce back. Okay, Pisces. So just be wary of that, and make sure you're writing those emotions down. Don't let them fester. Let's draw a card from my Life Purpose Oracle deck. Heart's Desires. The angels are supporting, guiding, and protecting you as your dreams become a reality. So see, just remember that even though things seem a little bumpy in the middle of the week, your dreams are still coming true. Spirit has still got you, okay? You still, you're still getting what you need. Willow Spirit, flexibility. Okay, so towards the middle of the week when you were feeling demanding and aggressive, have some flexibility, okay? Spirit is trying to give you that advice, and then things will work out, okay? Just be flexible. Well, Pisces, I hope to see you next week, and I'm sending you out all an abundance of blessings. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining My World Tarot, and please, like I said in the beginning, hit that like, that subscribe, and that little bell icon so that you know when my readings are coming. Next Monday, I'm going to do the same thing, go through all the signs, and we'll just do it week by week. I might do a live stream next Sunday. I'm not sure yet, but I will let you know on my community page if I am. Okay? I just wish you all well and sending you all out an abundance of positive and great things for you this week. Okay? I'm glad to be back, and I hope that you enjoy me doing my readings this way. So for now, I'll say see you next week and send you all a bunch of hugs and kisses. This is My World Tarot. See you next Monday.